So my name is Francesca, and I did my research experiment on which coolant slash antifreeze works best. So today I'll be testing which accessible car coolant is best by comparing the rate of evaporation. So a car's cooling system needs coolant to keep its engine from overheating. You can simply add water, such as distilled, but since water evaporates rather quickly, it can lead to it seizing your motor. Ethylene glycol is the agent that forms coolant slash antifreeze, which is a reliable liquid substance used in vehicles to keep from overheating. So the three materials that I used today were 3 different coolants, which I purchased from the nearest AutoZone, and distilled water, a thermometer, and a couple beakers. So the first coolant that I purchased was the Xerox by Valvoline, and it was priced at $19.99. The second coolant was Prestone, which was priced at $14.99. Then the last coolant was the AutoZone Extended Life, which was on sale for $12.99. And then I also used distilled water as one of the experiments. So my methods used. In this experiment, I decided to determine the rate of evaporation of each of these liquids by graphing time versus temperature for each solution. First, I obtained 4 different beakers, and they were labeled, and then the initial temperature was first determined in each substance by submerging the thermometer for 30 seconds. Later, the probe was taken out and placed at the end of a flat surface, and its temperature was monitored for every 15 seconds for 5 minutes. After the data was collected, it was then inserted and graphed in Excel, and I used the data to draw the line of best fit through all the points for each coolant and the distilled water. And then lastly, the slope of each line was determined, which is the rate of evaporation of each substance or liquid. So this was my first result, which was coolant number 1, and the rate of evaporation for this coolant was 0.0011, and that was a Xerox, and that's that one. And then coolant number 2, which was Prestone, its rate of evaporation was 0.034, as you can see on the graph. And then coolant number 3, the rate of evaporation for this one was 0.017, which was the AutoZone Extended Life, which is the cheapest one and the one that was on sale. And then the distilled water, its rate of evaporation was 0.0034. So my conclusion was that the best coolant with the lowest evaporation rate was coolant number 1, which was Xerox by Valvoline, which with a rate of 0.0011. Although it was the most expensive on the list by a couple dollars, which was $19.99, it might be worth it in the long run for your car, especially during hot summers when vehicles can overheat rather quickly without the right coolant, or none at all. Sorry, I lost my track. Okay, the next best on the list was coolant number 2, and distilled water at a rate of 0.0034. So these two were on the same rate. And so if you're in a tighter budget, Prestone might be good for you, might be a good fit, and water as well if you have no other option. And lastly, the AutoZone coolant, which was priced on sale for $12.99, the cheapest price, was the worst on the list at a rate of 0.017. So that was my conclusion. Alright, well, thank you guys. Bye.